every time I talk about this, there are still thousands of people that have never heard about this before. So tell me if you've heard about this, and if not, say yes or no in the comments if you've ever heard about this. But what I do for a living is called UGC. It's really popular, so I feel like you probably heard of it, but it stands for user generated content. Basically, in a nutshell, UGC creators like myself get paid to create content for companies without needing to be like influencers and having a bunch of followers, because the companies literally just need the content for their own purposes. So like, for example, I just made a few videos for this one company in the health and wellness space, and there was 3 videos. They took those 3 videos and they are running them currently as ads across social media. So I have not even posted them on my own social media account. They just like told me, hey, like this is what we're thinking. And then they didn't even give me script or anything. They just sent me the product for free. I made 3 videos. One of them was with my mom, and then I sent them the videos. They approved them, and then they're like running them as ads on social media to help promote their products. Type yes if you have heard this in the comments. If you've heard of UGC before, type no if you haven't. That would be like a really, really big deal, like for me to gauge exactly who the heck is like knowing about this already. But yeah, UGC literally changed my life. I was basically scrolling on social media on TikTok over 2.5 years ago, and I saw somebody talking about UGC and like explaining what it was. I'd never heard of it before, even though I was like kind of working in social media already. I just taught myself social media and I got a job. And so I heard about UGC, she explained it, and I was like, wait, what? I literally have never heard about this before. And so I looked more into it, and yeah, it turns out it made sense to me, because I was like, okay, I know there's influencers, but obviously brands of all types, like it doesn't take a genius to figure out that they need an insane, like alarming amount of content every month, right? Like for Instagram, for TikTok, for Facebook, for, YouTube, whatever. And then like, I also knew that if brands were running ads across social media, they had to test like a bunch of different content. So it made sense to me. Like, hopefully me explaining that to you now, it makes sense if it wasn't before. But brands, if you don't know, they do need an insane amount of content. So there's a few ways that they keep up with like literally hundreds of pieces of content that they need every single month for social and for their website and stuff. But a few ways is like, number one, influencers. Obviously we all know like about influencers. Brands love to partner with influencers. It's kind of like going down a little bit because of UGC, but influencers, some brands even hire in-house content creators if they can afford it or if it makes sense for them. But that's kind of like, it's not super popular, just for various reasons, like employing somebody full-time. And then there's UGC creators. So the benefit of UGC creators is that instead of just having like one in-house content creator for the brand is now able to work with a multitude of different people of all ages, backgrounds, that kind of fit their ideal audience, if that makes sense. Now they have different people in their videos, so they can test a lot of different things. So it makes sense for them, and it's typically pretty affordable for the brand. Like for me, now I've been doing it for 2.5 years. I've made a lot of money for brands with the content I've created for them, right? So I have case studies, I have different clients, right? Like testimonials and everything. So that helps. So I've been doing it for 2.5 years. So I charge, I don't take anything that's less than $500 per UGC video. Usually it's like $1,000 or more per video, but brand spanking new UGC creators are charging like $150 to $200 per video. That's what I did 2.5 years ago when I was starting out. But all that to say, like, it does make sense for the brand to hire UGC creators as opposed to just sticking with the traditional like influencer marketing or even having an in-house content creator. If this is making sense, hopefully it is, and you're like, okay, this makes sense, I want to get started with UGC, don't need a lot of followers, don't need to be some crazy big influencer at all, you want free products and you're willing to learn how to create content that brands actually want and need, I would love to be the one to like just help you on your journey. I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I teach people. I've taught over 8,000 people inside my course. If you don't like courses or you're just not there yet, you're like, I don't want to spend $87 $7 on your course, Megan. I just want to get more information. Okay, fantastic. That's great. I have a free checklist that would be so insanely helpful. There's been over 55,000 people, which is crazy. 55,000 people have downloaded my free checklist, and it is so helpful to just get your feet wet, learn a little more about UGC so you know, like, you've got your whole head wrapped around it and you understand it. And then I also included a 15-minute video lesson going over how to actually email these companies, because you can't just like say you're a UGC creator and then, you know, get all these brands wanting to work with you. You have to actually reach out to brands and everything. So get my free checklist. It's in my Stan store. If you want it, it is yours. So like a few different brands I've worked with, just to give you like perspective, because that's what I wish I heard from UGC creators back in 2022 when I got started. So the first brand that I ever worked with was a app company called the Captions app. They literally paid me like $750 for 5 videos that took me less than 2 hours to do, and it was super easy, straightforward. They were really easy to work with. They paid me like almost immediately, I think literally like within 24 hours after I finished the videos. And my mind was blown. Like, that was my first ever UGC deal. I had just started 10 days earlier. I made a super simple UGC portfolio on Canva. I had like 4 videos on there. Yeah, I was like hooked. I was basically, I was just praying and hoping that UGC was legit and that I could actually make money. And then within 10 days, I made $750. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. And it's only been really up from there. So, yeah, I worked with Captions app. Second UGC deal I got, actually started the conversation with the brand inside Instagram DMs. And inside my free checklist, I actually have the script that you can follow if you want it. But it was for a beverage company that I literally just was like, hey, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's super simple DM, like it's inside the checklist, but it was super simple. They got back to me. I connected with their creative director. They hired me for 5 videos, so I made another $700 something. That was like 3 weeks into my journey or something. Basically, I've worked with all sorts of companies, app companies, software companies, service-based companies. I did like a video for like this online, it was almost like an auto trader, but it was a little different. I did video for the Upside app, if you've heard of that, super popular app. I've worked with pet care products, like pet brands. I have 2 beautiful cats. They don't need to be beautiful, but you can work with a ton of pet companies. Oh my gosh, there's crazy amount. I just did a video for Olay, so that was about a new like cleansing melts. I've done like health and wellness, like supplement companies, clothing companies, kid companies, like a baby monitor company because we have 2 little boys. Literally the list goes on and on. My mom is now doing UGC, so she's 64. You could do this no matter your age, your background, whatever. Basically my whole point is like, no matter what you think you can do in the content creation space, or like the limiting beliefs that you have, I just want to tell you, like, I personally have taught people that have 0 social media background. My mom is like the perfect example. I have whole stories about her, like you can watch my videos if you want, but I've taught thousands of people that are over the age of 50 into their 60s and even into their 70s how to do this. So if you have limiting beliefs where you're like, there's no way I could figure this out, I've never made a video before, I don't know how to create a portfolio, just shut up and figure it out, because I promise you, you can figure it out, because you're smart and you're capable and you're a human being that has done probably harder things, right? So just do it. Just do UGC and watch how your life changes if you take action. You can't just sit there, obviously, but I took action. I just put in the work, I put in the time, put in the effort, and UGC was the light at the end of the tunnel during those really, really dark days where I felt highly anxious and stressed at my 9-to-5 job, like I was going absolutely nowhere. UGC was my answer, like was the answer to my prayers. Literally changed my life, and I've said that a million times and I'll keep telling people, but do UGC. Even if you want to be an influencer later, even if you want to do whatever the heck you want to do later, start with UGC. I promise you, you're going to learn so many things about yourself, about how to actually create a skill that brands want and need. So yeah, start UGC, grab my free checklist, type yes if you have heard of this before, and type no if you've never heard of this before watching this video.